Break from the holiday baking, folks. We'll follow the irresistible smell of baking pie to the second annual Holiday Pie Mania. It's this Saturday, and it supports the Food Depot. Chef John Ballardson, Johnny V,
Hi,
right?
Chad,
Can I call you Johnny V,
yes, sir? Thank you.
All right, he's here in the Builder Stories kitchen. So what is Pie Mania?
So Pie Mania is actually an annual fundraiser for the Food Depot in Santa Fe, but we're also going to do one in Albuquerque and one in El Paso. So they will support Food Depot, food bank type organizations. So we're actually going to do a pie competition in Santa Fe with 18 chefs, and they're all going to make their best pies.
Wow.
And then people that attend the event get to vote on the pies, they get to bid on the pies.
Wow.
They watch 18 chefs do pie demonstrations and basically get to eat pie. So it goes from
That's a hard day's work, it sounds like. So who are some of the chefs that will be at this event?
So we have some great Santa Fe chefs. We have Cafe Pascual's, very famous restaurant. Most of the major important restaurants are involved. Some small ones. We have a special guest who's a chef from Pie Town, New Mexico.
Oh,
Kathy Knapp, who has a restaurant called Pioneer.
Pioneer.
Pioneer. And so when people arrive, it starts at 1, goes to 5. You really have 4 hours to sample pies.
Wow.
So at the end of the afternoon, people are a little bit high from pie.
I was going to say, don't eat breakfast before you go, right?
So, yeah.
Well, so the proceeds, as you said, it's going to benefit the Food Depot. How was this chosen as the beneficiary?
You know, I think because of the connection between food and pies, and you know, we do have a enormous shortage of food for our New Mexicans. So I think it was a perfect marriage. I think the idea of gorging yourself on pie, and then the proceeds actually really help feed people.
That's great. Well, so we were talking during the break that you've got a great tip for our viewers on how to make the perfect pie crust.
Yeah, because the pie crust is really the important part of the pie.
Right.
So a couple of tips. I run a cooking school in Santa Fe called the Las Cosas Cooking School. So I've taught a lot of pie making. But one of my secrets is actually, Chad, instead of cutting up your butter or whatever fat you use, to actually use a cheese grater.
Okay.
So what I do, rather than cut it up, is you actually grate your butter into the crust.
Wow,
and when your little crust is full of all these shards, look at that, all these shards of butter, all of that butter is going to turn into flakiness in the crust and absolutely give you the best pie crust you can get.
Great, okay.
Second little tip, you're going to want ice water, so you're going to add ice water without the ice cubes if possible. And then my other secret is, I like to say, I like to cook with vodka, and sometimes it even goes in the food. And so a little vodka in your pie crust actually helps relax what's called the gluten and actually makes for more tender pie crust.
Now, just real quick, because I want to make sure that we get to all the good stuff as we make this. Real quick, if you could throw out what the details of the Pie Mania are as we mix this stuff up.
Sure. So it starts at 1 o'clock. It's at the beautiful Builder Source store in Santa Fe, which is on Pacheco. And basically, if you go onto the website, holidaypiemania.com, you can buy tickets in advance are $5, and then at the door, $7.
Okay.
So if you don't get them online, do show up at 1 o'clock, anytime between 1 and 5.
Great.
And there'll be pie demos going on all afternoon, pie samples, and then the pies are auctioned off throughout the day.
Great, okay.
So you can really come home with a beautiful pie made by one of our professional chefs.
That is fantastic.
So
and of course, we'll be coming up here through the magic of television. We're going to take this great thing, we're going to make a pie crust, and it's going to turn into a pie.
It's going to be baked.
You are that good.
So quick.
Yeah, right on. Well, we will be right back after the break to see this masterpiece from Chef Johnny V. Stick around, folks. It's going to be a lot of fun.